Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome back to the Srimad Bhagavatam study. So, we have been discussing Srimad Bhagavatam second canto, and I'm so glad to see some of you here. Divik had joined on StreamYard, and also anyone who has actually joined on YouTube, please say Hare Krishna before we begin. Okay, so let me share my screen with all of you. Yeah, it is already shared. Fantastic. So, before we begin, let us chant the pranam mantras like we do every time. So it will all be displayed on the screen. So kindly join your palms and chant along with me the pranam mantras. Let's dedicate this session to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON and my beloved spiritual master. So kindly join your palms and let's chant the pranam mantras before we begin the session today. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितमेन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः हरे कृष्णा Let me. Hare Krishna Dev, Hare Krishna Vinodji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes. How are you?
Doing good, Prabhuji, by the mercy of Prabhupada.
So, how was your Sunday today?
Prabhuji, to be honest, I was working for a bit. We have some urgent things.
Ah,
And
okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. So, let's begin today. We also have Dishna on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining. So, we were discussing actually the second canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And we have covered until chapter 6 last time. And we actually understood that how Narada had asked some questions. Basically, it was about also how Parishad actually had asked that, uh, I want to know the details of the creation. And that's when Shukadev Goswami, he first offered his prayers, and after offering his prayers, he went on to give more descriptions about how the creation actually begins. So in the previous chapters, we have discussed so far about all these things. So in chapter 7 and 8, today we are discussing briefly about chapter 7 and 8, which are very interesting. And here, Brahma is actually telling Narada about the list of incarnations. So in the chapter 7, Brahma is briefly, he's not describing each of these incarnations, the details of these incarnations. Actually, he's just actually mentioning different incarnations that are going on, that take place. But the description of all these different incarnations, that happens a little later. And in chapter 8, Parikshit has a list of questions. So many questions he has. A lot of questions which eventually Shukdev Goswami will answer to uh, Parikshit about these things. So let us try to understand today that what are these different incarnations. Of course, there are some incarnations, uh, we cannot elaborate everything, but just for understanding. So Lord Brahma, he goes on to tell Narada about the different incarnations that take place. Now, this is um, very interesting. Now, you please understand. Many people just have this idea that incarnations means it is just the Dashavatara, or some people think even little more than Dashavatara. No, actually, there are so many incarnations. There are unlimited incarnations actually. Just like the waves in the ocean, you cannot count them. There are so many waves coming. So similarly, the number of incarnations are just limitless. We just think that okay, Lord is incarnating in human form, but it is not true. Lord incarnates in different forms. So many species are there, and in every species, the Lord appears and he actually protects his devotees. So the Lord personally comes. Incarnation means what? The Lord is personally coming. So Brahma is talking about these few things here, that how the Lord personally comes and he performs different leelas. And the Bhagavatam is full of descriptions about these different incarnations, and every incarnation is so beautiful. Every incarnation is teaching us something very interesting. And Lord personally comes. That's why Bhagavad Gita Krishna is saying, right? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya dushkritam. Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. He comes yuge yuge. And in every yuga, not that he'll take one incarnation. In every yuga, he may take multiple incarnations also. So multiple incarnations are there. And he comes for what? Dharma samsthapana. That is one primary reason. But then there was one king who had this question. He had this question why the Lord has to come personally, why he has to incarnate. Krishna can just be there, right? Why Krishna has to take incarnations? He asked these questions to his ministers. And the universal, I mean, the ministers also in the court, they said that same thing, dharma samsthapana. To establish dharma, the Lord personally comes. Now, this king was not really satisfied with this. He said that if Dharma Samsthapana is there, she could actually send his representatives, he could send so many different devatas, he could send his own personal associates like Garuda or anybody, Hanuman is there. So many of these people are there, great personalities who can actually establish Dharma. The Lord need not actually come. Why the Lord personally has to come? He was not satisfied. The king was thinking, no, although this is okay, Dharma Samstapana is there, but he was not convinced with the answers of these ministers. So when he asked this why Lord personally has to come to his ministers, so one of the ministers said that, my Lord, I don't have an answer immediately, but in a few days I will definitely give you the answer. He said, okay. The king said, okay, I'll wait for it. So, few days later, it so happened that this minister and the king, they were actually taking a stroll in a garden, in the park, they were just walking. And as they were walking, suddenly there was a loud sound. There was a sound of a splash of water. And the king was curious, what happened? What is this sound suddenly that came? And then there was a soldier who came running and said, "O king, your son, your small little young son, he fell into the well." And this king was so desperate now, he was so much in fear. He ran frantically and he personally jumped into this well. And when he jumped into this well, what he found was it was not the son of the king, it was actually the doll, which actually just looked like the son. And the king was really furious and he came out. And what is this? Who is playing this game with me? The minister said, "Why did you jump?" Said it was because of my son. No, no, no. You have so many soldiers. You have so many other people who could have actually gone and they could have jumped and saved your son. But why did you jump? He said it is because I am the father. I am the protector, and I personally want to have that connection. In the sense, I need to ensure that I am a good father to my son. My father should not think that my son should not think that I am not a good father. So I personally went. I personally jumped. So the minister is like, likewise, just like you jumped personally to protect your son, similarly, the Lord personally comes here to protect his devotees. So this is very important. Many people think that Lord comes here, takes incarnation to only establish dharma. No, he actually comes what? The very first thing is paritranaya sadhuna. Paritranaya sadhuna means to give pleasure, to give happiness to the devotees. Then the second thing is vinashaya cha dushkritam. He could have actually reversed it also, no? Vinashaya cha dushkritam first, and then he could have said that no, paritranaya sadhanam. No. The primary reason why Lord takes incarnation is to give pleasure to his devotees. This is very important. Vinashaya cha dushkritam, there are so many, just his energies are there, enough to kill everyone. Right? So Lord here, Brahma is talking about Matsya Avtara, Kurma Avtara, Rishabha incarnation, as a son of Atri Rishi Dattatreya. huh? So he gives a list of different incarnations. Brahma is talking about the various incarnations, probably which we have not even heard about. Prutu Maharaj. Hmm? So there are various incarnations that that Brahma is talking about to Narada here. And every incarnation that comes, please understand, they actually give us a certain message. Like Matsya Avtara, we're all, in Matsya Avtara, what happened? He protected the ship which had all the different species, and Markandeya Rishi was there, and everything was protected. So we are all in this material ocean. So Lord, in the form of Matsya, He wants to teach us and tell us that I can take you out of this material world, this ocean of materialism. I can protect you. So they have a meaning. Every incarnation, along with the pastime, they give us a certain meaning, and this is something very important. One of the name of Lord is Agrani, or sometimes Agrani also. The one of the name of Krishna is Agrani. Agrani means one who pushes us towards the spiritual world. Otherwise, we are stuck here. We just don't want to go anywhere. We are very happy to be here. But uh, Lord, who is called Agrani, he pushes us towards the spiritual world bit by bit, but he will do it. That's why the Lord is so glorious. Like I told you, there are just innumerable incarnations. The scientist may find a way to count all the different atoms in this whole universe. That might be possible. But it is impossible to describe the qualities of the Lord. That means the Lord is so limitless. And when we say limitless, it is actually infinite and it increases. So you cannot describe the Lord. So the incarnation, what are described here, is just for our understanding that how Lord is so grateful. So Shukdev Goswami, now he starts giving the description here. I mean, in the form of he's actually telling that how Brahma, Shukdev Goswami is narrating this to Parikshit Maharaj, that how Brahma is talking about this incarnation, and now, as we go forward, we understand that now Parikshit, after listening to all these, he is very curious. And Shukdev Goswami has specifically told that anyone who is favored by the Lord can understand the Lord, no one else can. Only when you are favored by the Lord, you can understand these incarnations. That's why Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, what does he say? He says that Janma karma chame divyam evam yo vetti tattvataha. If you can understand my Janma and karma, O Arjuna, in tattvataha, then punarjanmana vidyate. You will not again come back into this material world. See, just by understanding the Janma and karma of the Lord, you can get rid of this material world. So that's why Bhagavatam is talking about what? Bhagavatam is talking about the different janma and karma. Although there is no material janma and karma for the Lord, but to understand the transcendental nature of these incarnations, you can completely get rid of all the material desires and you can go back to God just by understanding. That's why this is so important. Okay, so it is so just without the mercy of the Lord, we cannot understand these pastimes. We need to have that bhakti, devotion. There was one a great sage, a spiritual teacher basically, and he had a lot of disciples, students. So one day, this teacher, the spiritual teacher in the forest, they were all doing this Gurukul system was there. So the teacher asked the students, tell me one thing that in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad, there is one term called Janavo Grahita. Janavo Grahita. What does this mean? Janavo Grahita. When the teacher asked this to the student said Grahita means to travel. And Janavo Grahita means to travel very speedily, at high speed. Janavo means speed. And Grahita means to travel. To travel very fast is called Janavo Grahita. Now, technically, it is true. But the teacher asked, if this is the truth, then what is the speed? What is the speed of the Lord? And the students replied, they were all confused. Oh, what is the speed of the Lord? And one of them said, the speed of the Lord is infinite. The speed of the Lord is infinite. I'm just telling this one of the quality of the Lord. If we have to go from point A to point B, it requires a certain time, right? It requires a certain time. But for the Lord to go from one point to another point, it doesn't take any time. It is zero time. It is because it's infinite. Uh, Maybe Divik knows, or maybe Dave, you can tell me what is the formula for speed? Speed is equal to distance upon time.
Yes,
What is
Prabhu.
distance upon time, right?
Yes.
So now, if you make something infinite there, the speed of the Lord, time, there is no question of time there. For the Lord, there is no question of time. So the distance traveled is nothing for him. Although he may travel, but it is infinite. He goes so far, like he takes 0 seconds. He's simultaneously, in one sense, he's simultaneously present in point A, point B, point C, wherever. That's why we cannot comprehend with logic. If you want to understand logic, it is your logic will fail. So, people, if they want to understand the Lord and all these incarnations, you cannot go by logic. The Lord lifted in the form of boar, he lifted the earth in his tusk. You know what logic? People will say, what are you talking? The scientists cannot comprehend this avatar only. Who came, where somebody came and lifted and put it in the orbit? What are you talking? They cannot understand. That's why all these different incarnations are beyond the logic. So if you want to understand this incarnation, you need to have a lot of faith. Without faith, it is just not possible. Right? Because our logic fails. So now let us understand Parikshit, after understanding all these different incarnations briefly from Shukadeva Goswami when he hears about this, and Brahmaji has told about these descriptions of the incarnations to Narada, and he's telling to Narada that now you please explain about this incarnation to others. Now the immediate next thing is he wants to understand, Parikshit wants to understand the depth of the people. He wants to understand that how Narada spoke about all these different pastimes of the Lord to the people. When we receive knowledge, what do we do with the knowledge? That is what Parikshit wants to know. Narada received this knowledge. What did he do with this knowledge? That is his next curiosity now. He wants to know what great personality like Narada did about this knowledge. How did they speak about this creation? And this is very interesting. Basically, what Parikshit, if you understand the mindset now of Parikshit, he's trying to understand and analyze things deeply. He wants to know. Why he wants to know what Narada did? Because he wants to go deep. You know, Just like people go deep into gossiping, right? You just see sometime when people gossip, they want to go into the details of everything that is going on. What he did, she did, oh no, no, his friend did something like that. No, no, they actually did this because of that happened. And this, they go deep into the different topics of gossip. So here, Parikshit is interested in knowing what Narada did. He is going deep into it now. This is one of the quality. So if you also want to actually understand the incarnations of the Lord, you have to go deep. That's why today's the title also is think deep, and then later on also work deep. Okay, so Parikshit is showing us the way. He's telling us that we need to be very uh, grave. We need to have that gravity. Bhagavad Gita talks, right. One of the austerity of the mind is to have that gravity. Gravity means to be grave. We cannot be shallow in our talks. We cannot be shallow in our thinking. So Parikshit has that gravity. Uh, if we have to become great, we have to read great things, or we should associate with great people who can talk to us about great things and the Lord, right? That's when you become great. If we constantly talk about all normal people, then about gossiping about different normal people in this world, then we will also be like that. We'll remain normal. If you want to go an extra mile, be an extraordinary person, then you have to talk and listen and hear about extraordinary people. So these are all very important things, right? We have to know the life of great people, great souls. There is one very beautiful temple in South India. It's called Vadagur. Hmm? There is a temple of Rama there in Vadagur. Now this is a very interesting temple because it explains about one very beautiful pastimes of Lord Rama. See, Lord Rama, he fought this battle with Ravana, he won, and then he came back to Ayodhya and he became a king, right? When Lord Rama, he became a king, uh, everything was settled. Sita Maya was there with him. And one day he asked Hanuman, Hanuman, you told me everything that happened when you went there in search of Sita. What happened, how Sita, what she spoke, all the details you shared with me with respect to Sita. Whatever Sita told, you told it to me. But you didn't tell me that what you did there. You actually burnt the whole Lanka. That you didn't mention at all. You did destroy the whole Ashoka Vatika. That you didn't inform only. I got to know about all these things only little later. Why didn't you tell me all these things? You tell me all these things. I want to know about it. So Sita started smiling. And she said, Ramas, why are you smiling? Sita said, my lord, how do you think that Hanuman will speak about himself and his own glories? He spoke about me, yes, but he will not speak about himself, right? Just like salt, when it is mixed with the food, it disappears. It is there, but it disappears. It will never be in the front, like separate salt. It's mixed with the food. So similarly, the glories of great people are mixed with the whole pastime. They never come in front. But Rama said, I want to know what exactly happened. Then Sita said, see, I cannot speak to you about these things here. We will discuss this somewhere else. And that is how Sita and Rama, they come to this place called Vadagur. And there, Sita, she starts talking about the glories of Hanuman. Can you imagine? And when this is happening, Hanuman, he comes right before that. When this discussion is happening. And Rama looks at him and then says, Are just a while before Sita said that you are not interested to hear about your own glories, but you are here to come here and listen to your own glories. And then Hanuman says, No, my lord, I have come here to listen to your glories. I may have done something, I'm just an instrument. But ultimately, it is your glory. It is not my glory. I just acted upon your instructions. So I have come here not to listen to my own glories, but I have come here to listen to your glories. So this was the mood of Hanuman. So please understand, this is so important. We miss out on all these different things. We have to hear the glories of the Lord. And that's what we are doing every Sunday. We meet here. Why? Because we want to hear the glories of the Lord. Otherwise, we will be lost. We will be discussing on so many different things, the mundane things that are happening in this world. Right? So similarly, now Parikshit also, he wants to hear about what Narada does with this knowledge. He wants to know everything about it. Hmm? So this is one important quality that Parikshit is telling us, that don't be superficial and shallow. Dive deeper. Go deeper into things. Okay? And that is when you will get the gems. The more deeper you go, dive deeper into the ocean, you will find the jewel stones. Right? So similarly, if you want to really get the jewels of bhakti, then you have to dive deeper. And that is what he's teaching us. The second thing that actually Parikshit is teaching us, now you look at Parikshit at this point of time when this discussion is happening, Shukdev Goswami is speaking about different glories, right? Amazing glories of all these different pastimes. And Parikshit is so ecstatic. He's so amazed. He's telling that Name Savaha Pariyanti Brahman Annasyanadami Pibadochuta Piyusham Tadvaksha Abdi Vinirhashatam. He's saying, O learned Brahmana, because of my drinking the nectar of the message of the infallible personality of Godhead, which is flowing down from the ocean of your speeches, I do not feel any sort of exhaustion due to my fasting. See, Parikshit has not eaten anything, and he has not even drank water. But what is he saying? That I am not at all disturbed because of my thirst and hunger. I don't feel thirsty, nor am I feeling hungry, because I'm listening to the nectarian pastimes coming from your lotus mouth. See, this is the absorption that Parikshit is in right now. At this point of time, he is totally absorbed. And what an environment that is. He has created an environment where he is in the forest, he is on the banks of the Ganga, and there is an assembly of sages. The great sages have come all the way from different parts of the universe. They have come there, they have assembled there. And then another thing is, there no shallow person was invited. They were in the forest, they were in the assembly of the sages, they are on the banks of Ganga, and no unwanted disturbing people are there. Just look at that. Parikshit, at this very crucial point of his life, where he's about to leave his life, he's about to die in the next 7 days. But what he has done, he has created a perfect environment for his ultimate goal. Now, Parikshit is actually teaching us this also. Externals also matter. You also, if you want to progress in your spiritual life, you need to create an environment, the right environment where you can progress. Right now, you're so disturbed, constantly doing this or that, although you're listening, but then your mind is, because distractions are there. But Parikshit, he knows, if I am going to be here in the palace, it will all be very disturbing. So he chose to get out of the palace in the forest where nobody disturbs him. Right? He created a perfect environment for himself. So for us also, practically, each one of you can try out something. And I'm really seriously talking. If you want to really go deeper into your life, deep in a sense, not externally, deep within, then you need to probably practice a little bit of austerity in terms of that soul searching. We all need to do a little bit of soul searching, which is very painful. We don't want austerities of the mind. We want everything so easily. Any effort, mind says, no, 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 don't do this. So the first approach I would suggest is many people do this also is called a monastic approach. What is the monastic approach? You take some days off, completely off. Go to a place all alone without any disturbance. There is no one there to disturb you. And sit there and think deep, plan, strategize, analyze, do all of these. See where is your life going. Just take few days. There are people who just go. They are not going there for a vacation. They just go sit quiet. No calls, no emails, no interaction, no social media, nothing. They just take complete off and they analyze and plan, strategize. Most people go for yatra. We also have gone for yatra after Vrindavan yatra or any other yatra. We come back very exhausted because we are physically tired because we had to go and visit so many different places. No, I'm not talking about this kind of thing. I'm just going, just taken off. Maybe go to any holy pilgrimage place only, no problem. Sit quiet and analyze, go deep, understand what's happening with your life. And this is very helpful. Of late, just before coming to Boston, I was in Vrindavan. Uh, just few days, I was just all alone, going to some temples. I did the parikrama all alone. It was so amazing feeling, because you could just dive deeper into analyzing your true life, where you want to go in life. You need that inner strength. You have to create that environment for yourself. Because then once you get that clarity, then you can do big things. And many successful people do that. Successful people, they do that. They completely take to this monastic life for few days. Okay. So this is one approach. Oh no, no, Prabhu, it's not possible that few days I can take off. I'm just not possible because I have so much work. My company will not give me any leaves. Okay. Then another approach is bimodal. Bimodal approach means you take a chunk of few hours, maybe 5 hours, 6 hours if possible, in a day, and try to do some soul searching. And during this soul searching there is no coordination, no mobile phones, no interaction with others, not that you're taking some decisions, everyday decisions. No, completely cut off. Few hours, a big chunk of your daily time should go into this deep thinking. You see amazing things happening. No, no, few hours also not possible, Prabhu, because I have to rush to the temple, I have to cook, I have to do so many things, I have to wash my clothes, and many, many other things are there. If you are not able to do, then rhythmic approach. What is rhythmic approach? Even a smaller chunk, not even a big chunk, few hours, maybe just half an hour or 1 hour, and do some solid thinking, a solid analysis. Oh, just this 1 hour, just think and make proper goal setting properly. 1 hour, half an hour, even that is not possible. Then there's something called a journalistic approach. Journalistic approach means 10 minutes every day. In your most busy life, at least take 10 minutes out and try to do some soul searching. Create an environment for yourself. It is very important every day you have some exclusive time for yourself, a quality time for yourself, at least for 10 minutes. Try to do this. According to your situations in life, you either choose monastic, bimodal approach, rhythmic approach, or journalistic approach. It all depends on you, what you want. At least try something. In the ancient Greek, people, the people there used to be a separate room in their home. Every house used to have a separate room only for deep thinking. Just see, a place for meditation, complete dedicated space. Your puja room actually can become a place of deep thinking. Just be there in the puja room and do so many things. I cannot go to pilgrimage, I cannot do all these things. At least 10-15 minutes you sit in your own puja room and do something. Right? So second thing is creating the right environment. What is the first thing? Divik, you were there? What is the first thing? He's telling us to understand.
Prabhuji, I was not there.
Good, no problem. So first thing is to realize, understand about great people, deep thinking. Second thing is creating an environment. And the third is having the right intentions. Parikshit Maharaj is teaching us here. He's actually praying. He has the list of questions. If you look at the questions, I mean, there are a lot of questions he has asked about the creation, about the universe, the structure of the universe, the different elements, how these are created. Many questions he has asked in this eighth chapter. And all these questions will be answered in the upcoming chapters. Many things he has asked. So, see, if you carefully look at this, Parikshit could have actually asked Shukadeva Goswami to come to his palace, but he did not ask because his intent was right. His intention was his intention was intense. Unfortunately, our intentions are not very intense. Prabhu, I have to wake up early in the morning at 5 o'clock. You know, we have this desire, but our intentions are not very intense, not very strong. Our intention. That's why instead of 5 o'clock, we wake up by 7 o'clock, 7:30. Oh, Prabhu, I have to read the scriptures. I have to do some seva. I have to do my chanting. Yes, you have the desire, but intentions are weak. So you have to intensify your intentions. You have to give priorities to yourself. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. So Parikshit is actually teaching us if you want to intensify, tivrena bhakti yogena, if you want to intensify your bhakti, then you have to associate with the devotees, read books. You know, ABCD? ABCD of bhakti. A is association, B is books, C is chanting, D is diet. You have to follow this ABCD of Krishna consciousness. If you follow this ABCD of Krishna consciousness, you will be very happy. You will intensify, right? Very important. And magic will happen. This chanting, this whole process of Krishna consciousness, if you follow intensely, magic will happen. Sometimes, even materially, if you're not getting the solutions, you'll get spiritual solution to it. And mysteriously, it will happen. You will be looking for the solution, all different things you will try materially, but you will not get it. But you follow this ABCD, proper association, read books, Prabhupada books, see chanting, and the proper prasadam. You will see what amazing things will happen. You know, there was, I think I told this story earlier also, but anyway, nonetheless, we can repeat this. There was this one Shankaracharya in Kanchi, one sannyasi, priest in Kanchi, and there was one day what happened was in Kanchi there is a temple of this Chandramauleshwara temple, and on a specific day there is a festival. You know, there is a ritual that is to be performed in the morning, and whichever priest actually performs that ritual in the morning, the same person has to do the ritual in the evening also. That's the binding. You know, morning and evening the same person has to do it. So it so happened that one day this priest actually he did the morning puja on this day, but by afternoon 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. he fell sick suddenly, uh, severe pain, and then he got a fever. And the doctors came, they checked, and they said that, oh, this is just not possible. He is having a lot of fever, and he has to take rest, and he cannot take bath. Because evening, if you have to go to do puja, you have to take bath and go, and he cannot take bath. He's not well, he cannot just move. And everybody there, other priests are worried now. As per the rules, you know, the same person has to go and perform the puja, and now who will do it now? Everybody is thinking. There's a confusion. What is supposed to be done? So then there's a person, a devotee, who comes here, and then he says that forget about all these doctors. You know, the doctors were all trying to figure out what to do. They're trying to give the medicine, but they said that it's not going to happen so easily. You know, in few hours he'll get all right. So when the doctors were thinking, this one devotee, he calls few pandits there and says that all of us, let's chant the Vishnu Sahasranam. And all these people, when they started chanting together this Vishnu Sahasranam, the priest started sweating. So much so that in the next few minutes, he was standing on his feet, completely got rid of the fever. He took bath and he was ready to go to do the puja in the evening. The doctors were all bewildered. The point is, Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. When you follow things intensely, many times we do chanting, but we don't have that complete faith. You know, that's why it doesn't work on us. Many times we don't have that enough faith. That's the problem. So, if you want to take the medicine, along with the medicine, that honey is the faith, chanting is the medicine. You need to have a strong faith that yes, this will work. Okay? So, this is what Parishit is talking to us, and he's teaching us go deep into meditation. The fourth thing is that he's going to go deep into meditation. First is to go deep into your thinking. Huh? Second is to actually, what is the second thing I mentioned? Dev, remember what is the second thing? It is about, okay, let me add, sorry. Create a right environment. Are we creating the right environment? So important. And the third is, what is the third thing?
Intention, intention.
Yes, create the intention, right intention with right intensity. Otherwise, it is lost. Okay, and then the fourth is have a prayerful meditation. Without that, it is not going to happen. Sometimes the Lord is also willing to give so much. When a bhakta does a little thing and you sacrifice something, you are taking some austerity, and Parikshit is doing all these things now. He has completely given up everything, and now he's sitting there on the bank of Ganga to receive this knowledge. Don't you think that the Lord will be pleased with him? Definitely. Lord will be pleased. Swalpam apiyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhaya. The Lord is pleased with little things. You will come out of the greatest danger even just if you perform a little dharma. And here Parikshit is a devotee. So if you also prayerfully offer your meditative things, offerings to the Lord, he'll be very happy. There was this one person staying in Sri Rangam. Now Sri Rangam is like huge. Practically the whole city is inside the Sri Rangam temple. There are 7 walls, boundary walls. And the whole city, there are many, many people who actually reside in those 7 walls. So very massive. Sri Rangam temple is very big. So there was this one person, nice, simple Brahmana. Now he had to go from the north door to south door to get some vegetables and few other things. And to go to and north door is so far, south door is somewhere else. So to go from one door to another, it's practically on the opposite side. There is one roundabout, like a ring road, and one is like through the city. So he goes uh, a longer route first. He goes to the other side, south side. But while returning, he was late, so he said, "Oh no, let me take the city roads, not the longer route." So he wants to come through the longer route. Now, what happens is this inner road passes the temple of Ranganatha and also the Ranganayaki, Lakshmi Devi. Now, when he was passing through this temple of Ranganayaki, he was carrying these vegetables, and there, while he was passing, oh, what am I doing? I'm getting late. But then he somehow he keeps these vegetables and with this Anjali Mudra, he says he prays to Ranganayaki. He bows down to Ranganayaki and he immediately runs. That's what he does. Now Ranganayaki, Lakshmi Devi, is so happy with this devotee. Just look at him. She could have taken the different route. And now he comes here, he's really in urgency, but still he kept all his vegetables and he then prayed to me, bowed down with the Anjali Mudra. Anjali Mudra is like practically, what is this mudra representing? It is representing that anybody does this before the Lord will flow down like water. He melts basically when somebody just joins his hands before the Lord. He melts. That is the nature of the Lord. So now this Ranganayaki is so pleased looking at this, and immediately she goes to Ranganatha and says, "I want to give this devotee something." And Ranganatha says, "Yeah, you are the goddess of fortune, wealth. Anything you want to give, you can give him wealth. So much wealth he can get. You give him whatever you want." Ranganayaki says, "No, no, I don't want to give him wealth. Something more." And Lord Narayana is saying, if you don't want to give him wealth, then give him self-realization. Atma Sakshatkara, that also, it's a knowledge, it can be given. Because he's a Brahmana, you give it to him, what big deal? Ranganayaki says, no, 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 no. I actually cannot give him that also because I don't think this will match. He has, my Lord, I'm so pleased, I'm so happy with him. He came before me with Anjali Mudra. Then Lord says, if you don't want to give this, then give him liberation, mukti. She says, no, I cannot give him mukti also. Because even mukti is smaller than what he has done. Can you imagine? She is not even satisfied with mukti. And Ranganayaki is thinking, what a shame. I cannot give anything to this devotee. That's why even now, if you go to this Ranganatha temple in Srirangam, Lakshmi Devi's head is slightly bent down. Bent down because she's still dissatisfied because she's unable to give anything to this devotee. Can you imagine? So the Lord and even Lakshmi Devi, Radha Krishna, they are very merciful. The moment you do a little thing for them, they are thinking what to give you back. And sometimes they feel that they cannot give you back. Just imagine the Lord of the Lord, the Lord of the universes is thinking that I cannot give back. Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune, is thinking that I cannot give anything to this devotee. So that is why it is said, if you want to capture the Lord, you can capture by your bhakti. The Lord is bound by the bhakti. That's why Krishna also says, I cannot repay the debt of the gopis. Why he says that? He is the Lord of the Lord, no? But he says that I cannot repay the debt of the gopis for the love that they give me. So that is why here all these great sages, they have assembled here. Why they have assembled here? Because the great sages can see that here is a person who can ask deep questions, and here is the person, Shukadev Goswami, who can give deep answers. And these sages are so excited now. They're so excited because they have come to the right place. They've come here to discuss something very deep, right? So all of us, we please understand, if you really want to dive deeper into your bhakti and get really the essence of the bhakti, want to taste the bhakti, then take out some time. Try to first thing that you can do is, in this week at least, is to create an environment, a right environment, at least few hours, if not few hours, few minutes, take out for yourself for deep thinking. Go through the different things that we are discussing in these sessions. Understand, okay, these are the things that points that Prabhu has told. Okay, let me go and understand. Dive a little deeper. What is that one thing that you want to add to your life in this week? Try to do a little bit of soul searching. We'll all be busy with our children, our day-to-day work, many things we keep doing. And we get so caught up with social media and many other things that we lose that time. And then in that, we forget to give attention to ourselves. We don't invest in ourselves, and that's an unfortunate thing. So at least a few minutes in a day you should take out for some soul searching, and that will really help. Any questions, anybody? Any questions that you want to ask? So
Prabhuji,
this, yes, go ahead, Mataji. Yeah.
Prabhuji, you mentioned that, sometime back when you mentioned that what did Narada do with the knowledge?
What?
That Parikshit Maharaj thinks about it. That what
Yes.
did Narada do when he received the knowledge? What did he do with the knowledge? So that part, can you just please repeat? I couldn't hear because the voice for in my mobile there was something, and I also wanted to understand. Supposing I receive some knowledge, as in now I understand something from you, how am I supposed to assimilate and use it? Of how what am I supposed to do with it in general, other than understanding?
Yeah. Good question, very interesting question, and it actually triggers also. few other questions later on. But anyway, to address to this specific thing, what did Narada do? Of course, we will come to that point in the later section of the Bhagavatam. Narada Muni is constantly moving around the universe and he's constantly glorifying. You see, in Narada Muni, he used this knowledge to actually bless Dhruva with this knowledge. He shared this knowledge with the Kumaras. He shared this knowledge with so many great personalities, the kings, the sages. And he goes on. That's why there is a song also. Narad Muni Bhaje Vina Radhika Ramana Name. So Narada Muni is constantly going on singing the glories because he's so ecstatic, getting this, receiving this knowledge. Wherever he finds anyone, he will go and share this knowledge. Oh, yes, Prahlada is in the womb of the mother, he will still go. He's not waiting. Oh, let Prahlada come out of the womb of the mother and then I'll speak. No, he'll just go and he'll speak to the Prahlada in the womb of his mother, and Prahlada is receiving this knowledge. Dhruva is small boy. Why to speak to him about? Why to talk about big philosophy to 5-year-old boy? No, Narada goes and inspires him also. Hunter, he'll go to some hunters. They are fine, and then he will preach to them also. So he will use this knowledge to make devotees. Basically, the essence of having this knowledge is people like Narada Muni, of course, they practice themselves, but then they want to give this knowledge to others so that they can become devotees. So now what we are supposed to do with this knowledge? Let us try to apply it in our day-to-day life. How, for example, Krishna now talks about food, right? In the Bhagavad Gita, he's talking about food. Can we apply that sattvic food? Can we eat only sattvic food? You have the knowledge now. But are we practicing on that? No. But Krishna is saying about food, and food is something that we eat every day. So why not we eat sattvic food? That's one practical application of it. Krishna is talking about the austerity of the speech. Talking truthfulness, being truthful, not agitating people's mind by our speech. Be compassionate while you are using the words. Be very sensitive while you're talking. So Krishna is talking about the austerity of the speech, right? So can we practice that? Yeah, am I talking something which is insensitive to others and might hurt somebody else? So be careful about your speech. So that's something that we can use. So every time when you use these different aspects of knowledge, you are only getting better and better. We all want to be successful and happy. And Krishna is telling, if you want to be happy, then you give up your attachments. So many different attachments that we have. So now you make a list of these things. Okay, attachment. What am I attached to? Am I attached to my clothes? Am I attached to my beauty? Am I attached to my relatives? Am I attached to the possessions that I have? Somewhere, if I have an attachment, how to know I am attached? If you lose something material, is that giving you pain? Is that disturbing you internally? If it is disturbing you internally, that's an indication that you are actually attached. And that internal disturbances, then it is not good. So now we need to apply the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita. Oh yes, I need to practice detachment through devotional service. And how? What happens if I do devotional service? I will know that nothing belongs to me. Bhoktaram, Yagna Tapasam, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Everything actually belongs to Krishna. And if everything belongs to Krishna, where is the question of I losing it? Because I don't possess anything. When I don't possess anything, there is no question of I losing it. When you have this understanding that I am not losing anything, I just got whatever I had to get according to my karma, and I lost it because whatever according to karma is gone. In the meanwhile, I used it. So whatever you get, you use it in the service of the Lord. And you will not be dissatisfied. So that way you can apply this knowledge on your speech. You can apply this knowledge in terms of your own internal development. You can apply this knowledge in order to share this with others and make them happy. So there are different applications of this knowledge based on different time, place, and circumstances, right? So wherever, in whatever situation, if you have a good base of knowledge, if your knowledge base has increased then what happens is you can pull out any of these different aspects and then you can give the right solution to the people when needed. So that's the advantage of having this knowledge. There are some people who are really in need, and they'll come to you and they ask you, see, I'm going through this tough phase of my life. Uh, how can I get connected to Krishna? If they come and ask the question, now I have this question to you. If there is some neighbor of yours, since they know that you people are actually doing a lot of bhakti and other things, and they have their own problems, challenges, and she comes and asks you, uh, Hina Mataji, please tell me, I am really disturbed. How can I get connected to Krishna and be happy? What will be your answer now? Suppose if that neighbor comes and asks you.
Prabhuji, we can only tell them how the process has helped us.
Yeah. So what is the first thing that you would tell to do? No, they're actually desperate now. They're asking you a way to get connected to Krishna. So what will you do at this point of time?
First is faith and the leap of faith, and then the Nam.
Right. And with that leap of faith, that little basic faith, they have come to you. Huh? They have come to you. Yes, because they see that all these things has helped you. They have seen that. Now they want to do the same thing with themselves. And with that faith, they have come to you. Now what will you tell them?
I will probably just tell them how what are the steps as to how we got into it or how we started
Yes.
and how
Good.
we learned.
Good.
And maybe we will just I will just because probably if my experience is small or little, but I
Yeah.
will tell them what I have experienced and how I have felt the difference in my life. And
Good.
basically it's actually the difference in my perspective.
Right. And how did you get that perspective?
By first is the understanding that I received, and then assimilating that knowledge and trying to what do you say, chintan.
Yeah. So if this person comes to you and asks you, okay, how do I assimilate now? And how do I do the chintan? Because you have done it with your experience. So how, with this experience of yours, uh, you want to tell that other person to get the same thing?
Prabhuji, then I will simply direct that person to you.
So that is a shortcut. That's a good
Prabhuji,
thing
Dev
to
says
do.
hearing is important.
Definitely. But I also want you to, since you have gained knowledge in your own capacity, you should also speak. You should tell that, yes, I do a little bit of chanting. Why don't you do the chanting? This is the question. They might ask you some specific question. How do I offer something to Krishna? They might ask you. So you can explain to them. This is the process. So there could be a lot of questions they may have. And now you have heard a lot of things. So you can actually tell them. So that is what Narada Muni is doing. Narada Muni, they have questions. When people approach Narada Muni, they have questions. Narada Muni, please, tell me, I'm going through this. Then Narada Muni gives them that knowledge. So similarly, you can also take inspiration and then you actually speak out. Whatever you know, you speak. And of course, after all that you do and try, and still, if you're not able to, and if they are not convinced, they still have further questions. And that is when you can ask them to connect with me. I can connect and I can discuss a little further and give them another perspective of the whole question, right? So the point here is ultimately, after receiving this knowledge, you are now empowered enough to speak about it. And you know what? When you start speaking about it, your faith will increase. So that is why, just like Narada Muni, he cannot contain it to himself. He wants to go out and speak about it. We are not bhajananandis, Prabhupada says. We are ghoshtyanandis. Bhajananandis sit in one place and do bhajan. I am satisfied. I am very happy. Prabhupada says we also have to become ghoshtyanandi. Ghoshtyanandi, go out and speak about it. Right? So, in your own capacity, go out and speak about it and convince people. If they're not convinced, then you direct it to Anyone of us, the devotees there? Okay, that is nice. Hope that gave you a little insight on your question.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you. Prabhuji, I just had one query which I request you to address maybe any time later. Is
Yeah.
that this part, which is that, I am the doer. Every time I listen to various any lecture that I hear, this doer part always comes, and I've never been able to still comprehend, because in Bhagavad Gita class you had mentioned that we think we are the karta.
Karta, yeah.
Huh. And you had mentioned about the supreme enjoyer being Lord Krishna. So that part now I'm still not able to understand, or sometimes I understand and then I again don't understand it after some time. So that I have not still been able to comprehend that. So whenever possible, can you please speak about it?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. He's saying that. So we will discuss more details about this. It's a very deep topic again. That doership. Hmm? And this attitude or this understanding that I am the doer actually binds us. But the moment you think that, oh, I'm not the doer, actually, the Krishna is the one who actually is the doer, then a lot of things will change. But yes, it requires a lot of context, a proper context to discuss these things. So we'll create that context and we'll explain and touch upon this point. Wonderful, very nice. Actually, now this is deep thinking. So this is what I meant. Parikshit is actually going deeper into things. So this is what you are doing now. So this is good quality. That means there is progress. You're progressing. Good, fantastic. All right. So if you have any more questions, you can always ask me on WhatsApp, and please stay connected. We'll again meet you next, Sunday. We'll meet next Sunday here. We have Fulo Ki Holi. But I think the morning session, I should still be able to do it. But I'll keep you informed. Okay. So thank you so much for joining. We'll meet again. Take care. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.